It's finally happening. The pickup truck revolution is here, and it's not coming from luxury EVs or six-figure off-road beasts. It's coming from the bottom, from budget-friendly, practical, and shockingly capable trucks that cost less than some used sedans. Automakers, Mazda, Toyota, GM, and Ford are quietly rewriting the rules of the truck market with models priced around $8,000 to $20,000, targeting the global working class and shaking up the entire industry in the process. Let's start with Mazda, because this one took everyone by surprise. Mazda, known for its sleek sedans and fun-to-drive crossovers, is reportedly working on a compact pickup that could revive the spirit of the old Mazda B-Series, a simple, affordable, and reliable truck. What's wild is Mazda's approach. Instead of chasing the high-end luxury crowd, it's returning to its roots. A truck for people who need a truck, not a fashion statement. Mazda's rumored small pickup could ride on a platform shared with the Mazda CX-30 or CX-50, keeping costs low and fuel efficiency high. In emerging markets, this thing could launch around $8,000 to $10,000, instantly undercutting every mid-sized truck in existence. It's smart, it's practical, and it's the perfect antidote to America's $60,000 truck addiction. But the brand that's actually leading this affordable truck movement right now is Toyota with the IMV0. This truck isn't just cheap, it's revolutionary. Starting around $10,000 in markets like Thailand and Indonesia, the IMV0 is Toyota's return to pure function. It's a modular, flatbed-style pickup designed to be customized like a Lego set. You want a camper, a delivery truck, a mini off-roader. You can literally bolt on the parts and build your own configuration. Toyota built it on a simplified ladder frame chassis, meaning it's easy to fix, easy to produce, and durable enough for decades of abuse. It's not fancy, it's not digital, and that's exactly why people love it. It's proof that simplicity is making a comeback, and that Toyota is listening to the real-world customer. And then there's Nissan, quietly entering the fray with a twist. The Titan. Unlike the other compact or budget-focused pickups, the Titan traditionally sits in the full-size segment, but Nissan is reportedly exploring a more affordable, global-friendly version designed to compete in emerging markets. Think of it as a bridge between utility and capability. Still robust enough for heavy-duty work, but engineered for cost efficiency, with simplified tech and a smaller footprint. This move from Nissan signals something important. Even brands known for premium or heavy-duty trucks are realizing the writing on the wall. The Titan's new variant could potentially be priced close to the $15,000 to $20,000 range in key markets, undercutting competitors while leveraging Nissan's global brand recognition. This is critical because it proves that the budget truck trend isn't a niche experiment. It's shaping the entire industry from all angles. The implications are huge. Add the Titan to Mazda's compact pickup, Toyota's IMV0, GM's Montana, and Ford's Maverick, and suddenly you have 5 different strategies converging on the same principle. Trucks that are affordable, practical, and designed for real people. Each approach is slightly different. Toyota emphasizes modularity, Ford hybrid efficiency, GM global adaptability, Mazda driver experience, and Nissan reliability. But they all speak the same language, accessibility over extravagance. And just like that, the industry's old assumptions start to crumble. Full-size trucks with inflated price tags suddenly look unnecessary. Luxury features that were once considered essential now feel like gimmicks. The Titan, if executed correctly, could hit a sweet spot where buyers get durability and brand trust without paying for thousands of dollars of excess. It's a subtle but powerful form of disruption, showing that affordability and capability don't have to be mutually exclusive. The most fascinating part, all these trucks, the Maverick, Montana, IMV0, Mazda's pickup, and the Titan, create a global blueprint for how automakers can succeed in a cost-conscious world. From South America to Southeast Asia to North America, the message is the same. Practical, functional, and affordable trucks are in demand. This is not a passing trend, it's a fundamental shift in how vehicles are designed, produced, and sold. Then there's General Motors stepping into the same lane but with a different strategy. The Chevrolet Montana. GM quietly launched it in South America, and it's quickly becoming a blueprint for how to build a modern compact pickup that still feels affordable. Priced around $12,000 to $15,000, the Montana blends urban practicality with light-duty capability. It's not about massive towing or high horsepower. It's about being useful, efficient, and affordable to own. tone. GM gave it a small turbo engine, great interior ergonomics, and a design that feels modern but not expensive. It's the perfect global truck for young buyers and small business owners who can't justify nor afford something like a Colorado or a Silverado. The Montana's success shows just how much pent-up demand there is for small trucks in a world dominated by oversized, overpriced monsters. And finally, the brand that accidentally reignited this whole compact truck craze. Ford with the Maverick. When Ford launched the Maverick, everyone thought it was just another small lifestyle truck, but it turned out to be one of the smartest business moves Ford has made in years. The Maverick's base model launched in the US for under $22,000, with a standard hybrid engine capable of over 40 miles per gallon. That combination of affordability, efficiency, and utility turned it into an overnight sensation. Ford didn't just build a truck, it built a movement. The Maverick proved that people want small, affordable, and economical trucks again, and the rest of the industry is finally catching up. What's fascinating is how these four pickups, Mazda's upcoming compact truck, Toyota's IMV Zero, GM's Montana, and Ford's Maverick, all represent a return to sanity in the car market. For years, automakers have been chasing profit margins with oversized trucks that cost more than most people's annual income, but these new small trucks flip that formula upside down. They're built around affordability, modularity, and efficiency, not luxury or excess. And what's even more game-changing is the global impact. These low-cost trucks aren't just aimed at wealthy markets like North America. They're designed for developing countries, where the demand for affordable, multi-purpose vehicles is exploding. Toyota is targeting Asia and Africa. GM is focusing on South America. Mazda's project is aimed at emerging markets. And even Ford is looking at exporting stripped-down Maverick versions abroad. We're seeing a democratization of the pickup, where working-class buyers, farmers, and small entrepreneurs can once again buy a brand new truck without going into lifelong debt. The implications for the global auto industry are massive, because once these cheap, efficient trucks gain traction, every brand that's been banking on $70,000 profit machines will be forced to rethink its strategy. Automakers that ignored the budget segment might suddenly find themselves left behind, just like when Japanese compacts took over the US in the 1970s. History might be repeating itself, and this time it's starting with pickup trucks instead of sedans. And here's the twist. These $8,000 to $20,000 pickups aren't just a budget gimmick. They're strategic weapons. Automakers have realized that the next big war in the car industry won't be fought over who makes the fastest EV or who has the biggest touchscreen. It's about who can build mobility for the masses. The future belongs to whoever can deliver practical, low-cost transportation that's rugged enough for rural roads and efficient enough for urban chaos. Take Toyota's IMV Zero again. It's more than a truck, it's a platform. Toyota's building an entire ecosystem around it. Accessories, local body kits, customization workshops. Even small businesses will be able to manufacture add-ons for it. Toyota's vision is to make the IMV Zero a truck for everyone, where you don't just buy a vehicle, you build your own solution. That's something the rest of the industry has completely missed until now. Mazda's rumored entry fits right into this changing landscape. The brand that built its reputation on light, nimble cars could deliver a pickup that's efficient, minimalistic, and maybe even fun to drive. Think about it. A small pickup with Mazda's driving DNA, lightweight construction, and under $10,000 in key markets. That's a recipe for instant disruption. Mazda could turn back the clock to when trucks weren't luxury items, but tools, simple, durable, and made for everyone. And then there's GM. The Montana's success in Brazil and Argentina is opening eyes everywhere. GM quietly proved that there's real profit in affordable trucks if you design them smartly. Instead of chasing absurd horsepower, GM focused on packaging, compact footprint, clever storage, practical interiors. It's the opposite of the American truck mentality, and it's working. Now, GM executives are reportedly considering expanding the Montana's platform beyond South America. If that happens, the Montana could become GM's global budget pickup, the kind of product that actually competes in markets where people can't afford to drop $60,000 on a vehicle. Meanwhile, Ford's Maverick has completely redefined what a pickup is in the US. It's not a heavy-duty workhorse, and it doesn't pretend to be one. It's for the people who need a bed for weekend projects, bikes, camping gear, not construction equipment. Ford's move proved that Americans still love small trucks when they're priced right and built smart. And now, with rumors of an even cheaper version being developed for international markets, Ford could soon join the same price war that Toyota, Mazda, and GM are already preparing for. This shift isn't just about affordability. It's about philosophy. For decades, automakers have been telling consumers that bigger is better, that you need a full-size truck for even the smallest tasks. But that narrative is collapsing. Rising fuel prices, urban congestion, and tighter budgets are forcing people to rethink what they actually need. These compact pickups are hitting the market at the perfect moment. They're efficient, practical, and most importantly, attainable. And here's what's even crazier. These trucks could become the gateway to electrification in developing markets. Instead of launching $50,000 EVs that nobody can afford, companies could introduce hybrid or small electric versions of these low-cost trucks later. Toyota already hinted at hybrid options for the IMV0. Ford's Maverick already leads with a hybrid system. Imagine GM offering a plug-in Montana, or Mazda bringing mild hybrid tech into its small pickup. That would open the door for millions of first-time EV or hybrid owners across Asia, Africa, and Latin America. We're witnessing the start of a completely new era, one where car companies are finally competing on value, not vanity. The next 5 years might see the return of small, affordable vehicles dominating the market again, just like in the post-oil crisis 1970s. The difference is, this time, it's happening globally, and pickup trucks are leading the charge. But this raises one huge question. What happens to the traditional truck market when these budget models start stealing attention and sales? What happens is a full-blown identity crisis for the truck industry. For years, full-size pickups have been cash cows, massive profit machines for brands like Ford, GM, and Ram. But when buyers start realizing they can get 80% of the practicality for 20% of the price, those luxury trucks start to look ridiculous. Why spend $70,000 on a Silverado when a Montana or Maverick gives you everything you actually use in daily life? That's where the danger lies for the old-school truck giants. Their entire business model depends on selling expensive, high-margin vehicles. If these affordable trucks catch on globally and eventually make their way into Western markets, it could crush that profit structure overnight. Imagine dealerships full of massive trucks gathering dust while customers line up for smaller, cheaper alternatives that don't require a loan the size of a mortgage. Ford, ironically, could be both the hero and the victim of this shift. The Maverick has been a massive success, but it also exposes how overpriced Ford's other trucks are. The F-150, especially in its luxury trims, suddenly feels bloated next to a $25,000 hybrid Maverick that's cheaper to run and easier to park. Ford is now walking a tightrope. Make the Maverick too capable, and it cannibalizes F-150 sales. Hold it back, and competitors like Toyota and GM will dominate the affordable segment. GM's in the same situation. The Montana's success in South America could easily push them to introduce it in other regions. But if they bring it to North America, it threatens the Colorado and Canyon. It's a fascinating dilemma. Do you protect your profit margins or embrace the future and risk short-term pain for long-term survival? And Toyota is playing a completely different game. The IMV0 isn't about profit margins right now. It's about control of the global utility market. Toyota understands that the next billion drivers won't be buying $50,000 cars. They'll be buying something simple, durable, and modular. By owning that market, Toyota can dominate global transportation for decades. The IMV0 is designed to be locally produced, easily repaired, and endlessly adaptable. Exactly the kind of vehicle that builds brand loyalty across entire continents. Mazda's potential entry is even more symbolic. If Mazda actually releases a low-cost pickup, it sends a message. Even smaller automakers see an opening to disrupt the giants. Mazda's truck wouldn't need to sell millions to make an impact. It just needs to remind people what vehicles used to be. Affordable, beautiful in their simplicity, and built with purpose. And here's where it gets really interesting. Emerging markets are leading the innovation. For decades, automakers treated Asia, Africa, and South America as afterthoughts, dumping outdated designs and old tech there. Now, those markets are shaping the future. The IMV0, the Montana, and even Mazda's truck are being built with those buyers in mind first. These aren't hand-me-down vehicles, they're the new standard of practicality, and once they prove successful there, it's only a matter of time before people in Europe and North America start asking, why don't we get that version? The car industry has always been driven by ego. Horsepower wars, luxury badges, endless tech upgrades. But this new pickup wave feels different. It's raw, it's honest, it's driven by necessity, not vanity. People are done paying for chrome and touchscreens when all they want is reliability, versatility, and affordability. These trucks deliver that in spades. And when you think about it, this shift might end up being bigger than just the truck market, because once people see that affordable utility vehicles can be profitable, we could see a chain reaction across the industry. Compact vans, small SUVs, even entry-level sedans might start following the same formula. Cheap, modular, and designed to last. It's not just a product revolution, it's an ideological reset. The IMV Zero, on the other hand, represents what electrification should be: simple, efficient, and easy to adapt to any environment. Imagine an IMV Zero EV with a small battery pack, a solar-ready bed, and a sub $20,000 price tag. That's the kind of vehicle that could genuinely change lives, not just markets. Toyota already hinted it could build electric variants of the IMV platform in the future, and if that happens, the world's first truly affordable electric pickup could come from Thailand, not Texas. That's a reality the American auto industry isn't ready for. Meanwhile, Ford could easily electrify the Maverick's hybrid system. It already has the tech. The challenge isn't engineering, it's pricing. Can they resist turning a $22,000 truck into a $40,000 EV version that defeats the entire point? In many ways, it's deja vu. This feels exactly like the late 1970s, when the US auto industry was drowning in oversized gas guzzlers, and small, efficient Japanese cars took over. Back then, Detroit laughed at Toyota, Datsun, and Honda, until they didn't. Today, history is lining up for a repeat, but with pickup trucks at the center instead of sedans. And the craziest part? The West might not be the leader this time. The innovation, the cost-cutting, the modular designs, they're all coming from Asia and South America. The US might import the next great pickup trend instead of creating it. If that happens, the definition of a truck will change forever. Not as a status symbol, but as a global work tool reborn for a new era of practicality and purpose. Because that's the logical next step. Once you make trucks cheap, durable, and simple, the next battlefield becomes energy. Consumers will start asking, if Toyota can build a $10,000 modular pickup, why can't anyone build an electric one that's just as affordable? And that's the nightmare scenario for traditional automakers, because the technology exists, but the profit model doesn't. Right now, electric trucks are the complete opposite of what people actually want. The Ford F-150 Lightning, Rivian R1T, Tesla Cybertruck, they're all massive, expensive, and overloaded with tech. They're the poster children for how not to electrify transportation. They cost as much as small houses, take hours to charge, and are designed for bragging rights, not real-world work. GM's approach with the Montana is also fascinating. They're blending modern comfort with cost efficiency, but if they ever bring it to North America, the big question will be whether they can resist overpricing it. The Montana could fill a massive gap in the US market. A true compact truck under $20,000, it would sell instantly. But GM's challenge will be internal, convincing executives to make less profit per unit for the sake of long-term dominance. It's not a technical problem, it's a mindset problem. Mazda's rumored pickup, meanwhile, could be the dark horse. Mazda doesn't have the same scale or financial cushion as Ford or Toyota, which means it can't afford to chase bloated designs. If it enters this race, it'll have to double down on simplicity, efficiency, and driving feel, on things Mazda already does best. A small pickup that looks sleek, drives beautifully, and costs under $10,000 in global markets could single-handedly resurrect Mazda's reputation as an innovator. And if it hits even part of that target, it could spark an entirely new category. The lifestyle utility truck, a segment that blends work practicality with daily comfort without the ridiculous price tag. But beyond the trucks themselves, there's something bigger happening here, something philosophical. For the first time in decades, automakers are being forced to listen to the customer again. Not the luxury buyer, not the tech enthusiast, but the average person who just wants a vehicle that works. The affordability crisis in the car market has reached a boiling point. Prices are out of control, interest rates are suffocating buyers, and the dream of owning a new car feels impossible for millions. These cheap pickups aren't just vehicles, they're a rebellion against that system, and that's why the impact could be seismic. Because once consumers taste genuine affordability again, once they realize they don't need a $50,000 car to live comfortably, the whole industry's pricing structure collapses. Every automaker that's been feeding off inflated margins will have to adjust. We could see a global price correction, where brands are forced to simplify designs, scale back unnecessary tech and make cars people can actually afford again. The giants who built their empires on selling oversized, overpriced machines are suddenly looking over their shoulders because the next disruption isn't coming from Silicon Valley startups or luxury EVs. It's coming from practical, everyday vehicles built for the people who actually keep the world running. Farmers, delivery drivers, small business owners, young families. They're the ones automakers forgot about. And now, Mazda, Toyota, GM, and Ford are rushing to win them back before someone else does.